Hey, what's up, everyone? Ray here, bringing you episode 2 of the weekly chat. This week, we're going to be talking about job hopping, and I'm going to get into the pros and the cons in job hopping for my industry. There's all different kinds of viewpoints on job hopping, and we're going to go ahead and get into this week. So let's get into it. So again, everyone, this week we're going to be talking about job hopping and the pros and cons of job hopping, in particular for the industry that I work in. I'm going to give my viewpoint real quick. Personally, I do not stay at a company too long. My biggest thing that I try to do at a company is to try to build new connections, show them everything that I am capable of doing, and hopefully learning any new skill. Or working on any kind of new machine that I personally have not worked on. So starting off with the bad side about job hopping, the biggest thing is that, especially starting out, companies are going to look at you like you don't really care about this job field. Getting into it, you don't have a whole lot of skills that you can immediately show them your work ethic. You're still in the learning phase. So when it comes down to it, if you're starting out in this company or starting out in this job field, I would advise finding a good company or at least a decent one and sticking it out, for at least a good 6 to 8 months. That way allows you to build a relationship with them, and it also allows you to learn any skills that you don't actually have yet. Other than that, though, I don't have a lot of bad things to say about job hopping in this job field particular. I know as a whole, job hopping is not very looked great upon, but I personally think we should be calling it industry hopping. I think it definitely depends on the industry. You're going to have companies and job fields, especially in the corporate world, that want you to be there for a long period of time. They want you to move up that food chain. Where in our job field and in my job field, you don't necessarily have that same scenario. You have a lot of contract work. You have a lot of unions who are bouncing back between jobs. You have a lot of jobs that are only focused on getting big specific jobs done, and then they kind of go in a hibernation mode and just, so it all comes down to the company you're working for. But especially starting out, I would be, again, finding a good company to stay working for. But if you have been in it for a while, I wouldn't suggest you staying somewhere for years at a time, especially in a smaller company that doesn't show a lot of growth for you. When a company is hiring you, they're looking to see what you can do, what you're going to do, and what you could potentially do. They want to see your drive. They want to see how much interest that you have in the things that they are able to make available to you. Now, for the good side of job hopping, the biggest thing for me is a lot of times you're going to make more money. Going in for your first job, you might be making, $15, $16 an hour. Well, by the time you've been there for a couple months, maybe a year, it's going to show you're now at 17 or 18, so you're going to have a little bit of steady growth. Well, staying in that company, they're going to want to wait another year to give you a raise, and I know for a lot of people, myself included, money, bills, having kids, having relationships, becomes very hard. And there is a dollar point in life of comfortability. So being able to then go to another company, show them the skills that you have it on record, you have past good relationships, you're able to then move over to another company and say, hey, I want $20 an hour, and then make a deal. And then you steadily move up and then learn those skills from that company, and you just keep growing and growing and growing. I do think that there is a point in time that you should be staying at companies a little bit longer as you go and progress. But again, moving from a company to company is going to show you multiple things. It's going to show you new skills. It's going to give you new experiences. It's also going to give you new contacts. Now, being in this industry, there is a lot of contract work. I work for myself, and I also work for a company. Working through my company, I have contacts to get steel. I have contacts to get, consumables, whether that's gas for welding or any other things, So getting those contacts and having a good relationship with people is the biggest thing that I find as a pro when it comes into my job field. You know, being able to go from state to state to work on all different kinds of projects are going to give you the kinds of skills where you can walk into a company and say, hey, I know how to do it all. I've done it. I've been there. I need this X amount of money, and at the end of the day, working for a company or even working for yourself, your money is going to be based off of your reputation, your skill set, your ability to get a job done. So the more experience you have with getting different kinds of things done, it's going to give you a better opportunity to show them what you can do early on and be able to keep building off of that. So again, in my opinion, when it comes down to job hopping, if you're starting out, I would say stay in a company for a longer period of time and learn your skills. But if you're somebody who's very comfortable and have been in this for a while and are looking for growth, don't be afraid, Nothing is ever wrong with just putting your application out there and seeing what is in your area and what you could possibly getting. That way too, you never know. Maybe you're comfortable with the company you're working for, but they've always been a little bit leery on giving you money. Well, if you are very close with your boss, have an open discussion, say, hey, I have these other companies where I can learn new skills and blah, 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 and it's a little bit more money and I'm thinking about going there. Is there a way you can match me? And that maybe can be also an outlet for you to keep growing, keep moving throughout a company. But it all comes down to how you want to live your life as well. A lot of people who job hop, again, are a lot more of contract workers. You might have a lot more traveling, and that might be something that you're not into. So you might want to quickly find a company that you're comfortable with and stay in the long time and not necessarily job hop. But for most of us out here, I would say job hopping is not very much a bad thing. It definitely depends on how you're doing it and why you're doing it. So you need to keep that in mind. So again, y'all, thank you so much for watching this video. I greatly appreciate it. There are some quick announcements. Streaming is only going to be happening on Tuesdays, not Tuesdays and Thursdays. That'll be Tuesdays from 7:30 to 10:30. I'm going to be filming a project that I got going on, and I'm going to be needing the extra day for right now. So I will have a link for that down in the description below. So go ahead and follow there, and I'll see y'all on Tuesday.